Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to register. Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to register. Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to register. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, 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 winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics.eth. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just
What up? What it do? 10 minutes in, 9:10. Sorry guys, it's gonna be a quick show today. Got a really late start. Still a little tired from last week, so I don't know. Don't usually wake up late, but did today. So shout out to everybody doing some morning biz. Appreciate you, Gamble. Tiki. Kivo is what does it say? Member for 5 months in Acolytes. Happy to have you. Idiot Simon, appreciate you, man. I think you wrote a war story I need to get to today. Don't want to leave that until next week. So last week was busy. I was a little fried. 2 concept calls, a bunch of content and shows, and it looks like a bunch of you had some real positive results from the work we put in last week. So spent a lot of time in these last couple of weeks on mindset and things like that, and perspectives that I built into the themes of the show. I didn't really realize that people didn't actually pay attention to the write-ups of the show in Twitter. But those things are part of like the whole production and, you know, trying to give you guys sentiments and perspectives and things like that. So I spent some time in Discord, I guess, you know, explaining these things to folks, and kind of also trying to give us perspective to back up and zoom out and see where we are and look at, like, you know, the reasons people miss the moments of opportunity. And it's usually because they're in the wrong resolutions, right? And when time comes by, they've been chopped up or, you know, whatever else, that stops them from capitalizing on it. I won't do them all, but I'll give you an idea. And since I was telling folks, like, you know, with these write-ups, like, most people don't read the text, and we talk about value hidden in plain sight. These things are a lot about, you know, perspectives and mindset to approach markets to be able to capitalize an opportunity when it shows up. Things like Kismet, you know, most people think shit just happens and hope for the best, but hoping is a drug of choice of a fool. It is a few that force reality by sheer will. It is a few that persevere, you know. This is just stuff about people who succeed. Just common sense stuff, right? Most people think they're victims of circumstance, and those people always fucking have reasons to blame other things. They never course correct. They're never introspective. This is something for just traders' logic, you know. So when we do the themes, they're not just like, you know, this BS. They relate to things about mindset, sentiments, you know, emotions and markets, various things. It can be hard to find sanctuary, and danger works so hard to blend in all around you. Most of the company you keep is fucking dangerous for you and toxic, and that's why people correlate with the herd, because they don't realize the thing right next to them is the fucking herd. They're pretty sure it's somewhere else, you know. Silence is always death. This was a warning that people being quiet inside the eco, lower show numbers. That's a warning that fucking deaths abound, you know. We see what comes out of last year in the depths of the bull flag. People did get chopped up. There are a lot of people missing, you know, and we've seen, you know, damage in the eco. And anybody who wasn't really on it really fucking suffer from the market being as difficult as it was at the end of last year. There's only up or down, right? The binary nature of price that we deal with. Most think fear of failure is what holds them back, but you have to be successful to fucking worry about that. Most people aren't successful, but people in their minds paint themselves in a position where they could say that's the real reason, and that's just a fucking fantasy, right? It's a crazy fucking way to look at the world. The never mind. Some wake up beside themselves. Most in anger, fear of loss can make you delusional at times, and that's when you realize it's all just in your head. Most people live like this. Most people live like the guy on the left. They're full of fucking anxiety about all kinds of shit they can't control, and it scatters your focus, right? You only have so much mental horsepower. You spend your time with like a fucking zillion things in your head. The guy who's got one track mind is gonna fucking outcompete you inside that respective space. And that's the kind of mindset you got to be able to bring to the market. You can't carry every one of your problems into the market. You're going to be emotional. You're going to make shitty choices. It's going to slow you down. So if you've never really read these, I wish you would take time to read them too, because I take a lot of time to put, you know, effort into not just the graphics, to illustrate like what resolution, you know, backing up a resolution, so you can see time frames from a macro perspective down to where we're trading. You know, if first the picture is not clear, it's always a problem with resolution. All of these are to, you know, some key aspect of what we need to bring to the market mentally or pay attention to sentiment wise. So definitely pay attention to these things. There's more going on in them than you think. So I just realized that even my own eco, most of my vets don't even read that stuff, and I was like, really, I think I'm late to the morning show because I'm just fucking around with my thumb up my ass. Like every single thing that I do here is part of the production of, you know, a better market show. In every possible dimension I can present something that's useful to you, I'm going to try to. Anyways, alrighty then. What do you guys think of this morning's art with all that said? Frog with the hat. Respect, sir. Yeah, sorry, I overslept. Didn't mean to get the stream out this late. That was definitely not a part of the plan today. This is your most favorite thumbnail? Interesting. I was actually trying to create an animated short, and I couldn't finish the production of the animation, so I had to go with a still shot from it. But there was actually a cool animation I was working on, but I ran the clock to the limit, and I had to just take a single cell and throw it out. But maybe if I ever do release this one, I'll finish the animation and show you what it was supposed to be. Don't burn mental capital and emotionally warped info. I like that. Reminds me of the pods at the basketball hoops. It is a little colorful, I gotta say. It's pretty fucking bright for a fucking Monday. These write-ups is the psychology to keep the mind of success. Correct. I'm writing stuff to mindset, right? Markets are 90% psychology. We're writing a ton of shit about exactly that. What state of mind, you have to be in to really have a shot. So we don't have a lot of time, so I've got to fucking blaze through a bunch of things to make sure I can make this show useful to you guys and get you to the bell. So without further ado, let me get to your war stories. I think I got just one from Idiot Simon. Oof, it's fucking huge. God damn it. Okay, our chart reflects our behavior. During the month of February, I've gotten into trying to trade structure on lower resolutions, time frames, and leverage or on futures contracts. I had a wallet with a few hundred, which was quickly reduced to 1/6 of its size. Not only did I get chopped up across all resolutions and waste a ton of mental capital, while at the same time drifting, the wins that I did have were significantly reduced by exchange fees. Luckily, I'd received some staking rewards, which coincided with the beginning of a string of conferences which I had for 2 weeks. Knowing that I would be busier, I decided to take a break from the previous few weeks. Also, luckily on that day, Kaz dick kicked the eco, which made me realize that I was fucking up. There were also very clear sentiment reads, and instead of sitting on the sidelines, I decided to make a smarter plan with assumptions of risk, strength, and crypto. I also joined voice calls briefly enough, though I was in the middle of conferences, because I wanted to make an effort and participate, even if only for 10 minutes. That's much appreciated. Based on the advice from the call, I later wrote down goals and will refine them to help fight against the drift. I made 6 Rs total play on the lower market cap coin, which I was still holding in my portfolio, and also entered with staking rewards. While looking at the sentiment in the Telegram, selling in the Telegram, that's not us, and selling at Euphoria, I realized that this was a riskier play. However, I still defined a stop and cut profits in order to protect initial capital. It worked out very well this time, but I still did not execute as well as I could have and missed a good time to sell. I then joined the concept call and participated and shared my issues and faced recently while trading, such as entering into complacent shoulders. Kaz immediately identified the problem, and although it was a bit nerve-wracking to participate at first, that is where the value truly was. I also realized that I was holding on to the first play and needed to cut the profits, and just in time as the market started correcting soon after. After the call, I became more patient with my trades, found a potential play with strength, and was not hopping around time frames. This led to 2 more plays on the coin, 10 plus Rs, this time with better exit execution. Very good, right? Oh shit, Jesus, you wrote more. After these 3 consecutive successful plays, I was definitely feeling euphoric and decided not to trade anymore. Given that these were very high risk and large wins, I decided not to make any more plays. Also, given that the span of time of a short time, my account went from 1/6 of its original size to 3x what it was before, it was very easy to get greedy and give back all the gains. Learning my lesson and not overtrading. This is a very well written war story, guys. One thing which has stuck out to me recently is just how much better it is to make a small number of high-quality decisions, and I choose to do that by watching Friday's show with a pen in hand and taking notes in order to force myself to pay more attention to detail in the streams. Looking at the growth of my chart from the past months from me just reaffirms how good habits are what grow your account, 100%. Not the other way around. Good habits will put you in a place to take advantage of the market, and participation forces you to fight the drift and teaches you lessons when deserved. Dude, this is spot on. I can't hit that clip right now. After also seeing the Discord that I wasn't. What is this? Is this me? Okay, it's a market clip from us. Let's see. Let's hit it. Audio. I don't have any audio. I'm not sure why that's happening. It's been happening a lot today. I have audio fucking issues out my ass. I have no idea why there's no audio coming out of that clip right now. Fuck. All right, I'll just finish this one. After also seeing Discord that I wasn't paying enough attention to detail, I decided to review my wallet for anything I might have forgotten about. There is nothing as good as being immediately rewarded for your actions, as I found some various coins which weren't on my asset list and I had forgotten about from earlier on the bull run. Sold them for 8 Rs, which put my account at practically triple what it was at the beginning of the month. I'm planning on continuing the trend of less impulsive trading and will definitely wait for the emotions of these trades to subside before entering any new ones. At the same time, I am taking more care to maintain these good habits and hopefully continue a pump in my own fundamentals. I always read in the Discord that your behaviors reflect on the chart, and I have never truly valued it until this moment where I am seeing it with my portfolio. Kaz and Eco, thank you for your constant support, care, and best of breed analysis and vibes. Can't thank you enough for shifting my perspective. This is as important as anything, right? Being aware of your own emotions to take a step back before you make another play so you're back in a clear mind state. Recognizing that within yourself, being introspective. This is taking a lot of stuff that we put notes about into putting into practice, and definitely seeing results from doing that. So I think that's pretty awesome. He actually outlined what's going on here. With his account getting dick kicked in the eco. The dick kick equals the biggest pump. So I have to dick kick you guys like every fucking day if that's what this is gonna do. But that's all I want to see. I want to see you guys fucking win around the show. And to do that, you got to pay attention so you can take action with some intel we put out, mindset reminders we give you, reducing impulsivity, and not getting caught up in paralysis by analysis and stuck in stasis like we talked about as a theme for this show, right? Your key to execution and seizing the moment is having a very clear mind state and a really good plan, and reduce emotions as much as possible by having enough information to have understanding instead of generating fear in the absence of info, right? Ignorance breeds emotion. So when you have lesser knowns, you replace it with emotional state of mind, and that then affects your decision making, which fucking is a vicious cycle. So I think this is really awesome. Thank you so much for putting this together. That was a really great write up. So I'm short on time. I'm really glad I got to get that one in. All right, 7 minutes. Gotta fucking pound out something decent for you guys. So let's get to it. Got to get your macro. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get symbols in here, but I'll try if I can. I'm gonna go as fast as I can to give you a position where we are. So one thing we talked about is, well, where are we, right? My logic, my thought process right now in the big res is there's a chance that we're in some big ass fucking high res bull flag that no one's fucking paying attention to at a much larger resolution that kind of fits with the scale of the country's bull flags, right? Like this kind of resolution. And we've done some sentiment reading with like this statistics we have for like mass shootings, and we found a correlation to them in the bottom of major buying opportunities. So we've got a whole series of these. What looks like a bull flag that rivals the one that fucking is back here, like massive in scale, or the end of the fucking housing crisis. If that's the case, right, most people are falling asleep on this stuff. Dow Jones looks like that, and we talked about the overseas markets, right? The CAC, these guys look a lot healthier and appear to be rotating similar locations. If that's the case, all eyes on fucking risk assets, because right now the market has gotten very quiet. Lots of people who are in risk assets have been crushed, and the sentiment's telling us that we should be staring at this thing right now. Because the thing is, right, at these larger scales, these bull flags, when bull flags bottom, remember how bull flags work, right? A person that's like, really fucking like negative on the market thinks it's like dead here, will look at it and at this resolution be like, see, I told you so. And they won't touch it. This is where death is, to allow more markups, to have people go, see, I told you so, once it rotates over. And it keeps on doing that. See, I told you so. You know what? I gotta have it. And then it goes all the way down to, see, I told you so. See, I told you so. And people are dead in the bottom bull flags. This see I told you so, this is dead bodies. This is fucking accounts knocked out. This is disillusion with fucking opportunity. This is all of the negative mind states and emotional states that stop people from fucking taking action. And when you leave from these places, people sit there with their thumbs in their asses until they fucking play this whole cycle out all over again at various resolutions. So we want to kind of like, be able to move when the crowd cannot. And for all the reasons they cannot, whether they've been fucking they're actually physically dead or they're fucking financially dead. That is the moment of opportunity, and you want to pay attention to when people aren't in a position to capitalize on this. That's when you act. And right now, right, there's a lot of people that when the time to act comes, they still will miss the opportunity because they'll be caught up in paralysis from analysis and unable to act. There's all the possibilities that take a person out of the way of opportunity is what occurs when opportunity is present that makes only the few able to capitalize. So right now, right, this is definitely pay the fuck attention, because there are a lot of people that are nowhere to be found anymore, that were all over the bottom of the fucking market in August and October, getting cut to pieces in low resolutions. And now when we have a bull leg, there's no one around. So, it's definitely sentiment things. So Germany 30 lagging behind. France is the fucking strength of the world for some fucking reason. S&P 500, we did that. NAS 100. So I think, QQQs. And we'll go Qs here. So Qs, we look at like, the big bull flag. Now we look at it when we're zoomed in. If this thing is tracking behind the CAC, he's really just lagging miles behind, this guy. And that's what I think is very possible. Just we're being led by fucking, Asia at the moment. That makes a whole bunch of guys very plausibly, like, in massive rotations. Guys like TSM could be chasing higher, right? A lot of Asian plays in K-Web. Baidu we were tracking, right? These guys all could be actually following these uptrends on really large scale resolutions, and nobody's the wiser to this. JPM 225. Seeing strength now starting to show finally in Asia. Asia's been really dead money for a minute and really just congested and not moving. But you're seeing strength like globally at the moment right now. While there's like, as far as I'm seeing on the US side of the water, a lot of disillusion and worry about fucking next recession and what the Fed has to do, all while ignoring the broader market structure of what we see going on here. And this is, on bigger resolutions, there's a bull market running around the fucking planet right now that no one's aware of because it's too zoomed in. DXY things, I know I'm trying to go really fast. 928. Whew. All right, so DXY things, we're paying attention to this guy. This bull flag, we didn't get outside of this. This is key if we're going to keep on seeing weakness in risk assets. This guy's deflected from here, so at least he creates a stall. That creates a stall in the euro. The euro is now tracking a low resolution uptrend here in this rotation, but for the time being, right, that allows us to have a little upward strength in U.S. markets. So we're going to gap up a little bit in the morning, continue this push from last week. We tried to get everyone to pay attention was possible, and off of the sentiments of the murder cluster. Which is down here, right? We talked about possibly holding in the fucking Chinese New Year murder cluster. It's so terrible. But it looks like we did, right? We bottomed right deep into it, and a potential bull flag rotation tracking the CAC Quran it looks like it's underway. So we're going to pay attention to this, and this is a trigger for the CAC. So let's see if we start the week with a fucking tear or not. We know no one's willing to play this. It's pretty stretched out, so be cautious, right? You can only really kind of pay attention at the resolution of what you got. Here at the top, but don't call it tops, right? The trend is your friend. It could extend this wave slightly further before we get another correction that we can plan around. VIX things, VIX did recoil down at a Stevie D's level and is now sitting just under the possible box range here. This is key. If we sit here and push down a little further, it allows us to push up a little higher, but it is kind of hairy right here. So there's probably, there's a chance for a correction somewhere close, but until it shows itself, right, we'll let it do what it does. So DXY things, and then Bitcoin and crypto has been a little weak because Guns is going after everybody but Sam. So it's put a little pressure on crypto things. But watching this guy right now, I think crypto is now the slightly weaker asset than stocks. We had seen them leading before its relative strength and kind of use that as a gauge on stocks right now. Stock continue to push higher. That should still drag crypto higher, or at least keep it from falling too hard, too fast, unless Gensler and then do something else fucking crazy. So I still think this range is still key, right? Where we said right here where the euro could, ETH could stall, he's still kind of camped out doing his thing. It is 9:30. The market is open. I've run over my time. Those of you that got to get back to it. I'm going to get a couple symbols in since I've already gone over time any fucking ways. What did France announce? 400 million army budget increase, right? Europe has got to militarize, and military spending is pretty much one of the biggest things to drive your economies. So that could be something, right? If France is taking matters into their own hands to shore up the defense of the EU, then that's also huge to see. Jay Powell tomorrow morning, Wednesday. So heads up, peeps, from Izzy. Always pay attention to whenever Jay Powell speaks. He's the most market-moving motherfucker in the Fed. I know this is really fast, so I hope you guys can pay attention. But you can always play back at 3/4 of speed because I know you fucking do. All right, so on to whatever the symbols you fucking just asked me. And this thing is still not showing me my symbols on the fucking monitor. MBG, VT, USDT. Okay, you guys didn't ask too many. MBG is a German company, MBG. Mercedes-Benz. So Mercedes-Benz looks just like what we're talking about in bull leg. We guess we drawn this back in the day. You guys had asked this. So there's Mercedes-Benz tracking higher, and he looks pretty fucking bullish. We talked about race, Ferrari, and stuff like that. This guy looks pretty much like fucking, the European markets right now, pushing up to the top of his bull flag. The cap looks just like that in the open. So, like I said, so it continues to push out. This likely continues behind it, right? And we've seen a couple of the luxury car guys look pretty good. So, like right now, Ferrari's up over that same corresponding bull flag that Mercedes is attempting to shoot over. Why do I have this horrific color on for a fucking fuck? All right, and then US. I wish this thing would show me my fucking symbols. Vici, USD, JPY. Vici. This is properties. Sounds like a REIT. If risk assets do push higher, real estate assets are going to push higher behind it. Inflation and high interest rates be damned. Like I said, many shows ago, there's a chance of having higher interest rates and higher inflation and risk assets rising anyway, all at once. That is still very possible. The Vici properties right now, the bull flag we see in the CAC, we can see here, and we can see the resistance that we probably are facing like from that previous high being breached is kind of what he's chopping right now. So this is just a 2B. Always read prices from left to right. This high is what people would use as a stop if they shorted it. Fuck move, bigger fuck move, another fuck move, possible fuck move, right? So that's the analysis of that guy. USD JPY, we talked about paying attention to this dude and the rotation we had here. If the DXY regains some strength, that might help this turn around, or the yen itself is just more extremely weak. So we talked about this guy pushing out the rotation. He's stalling with the DXY stall that we just showed you that is also present on the Euro USD, right? That Euro USD pushing upwards in a bear flag is the USD JPY pushing backwards in a bull flag. And then US consumer sentiment, I can't remember the fucking symbol name for that shit, is UMC cent. UMC cent. And we did this before, remember? And this was something we talked about also, right? This level here, paying attention as you got down, this is a very important sentiment gauge. The crowd is generally always on the wrong side of risk assets, and the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Study is no different, right? These are major buying opportunities in the United States that occurred in major points in this chart. This is a major selling point when the crowd is extremely confident. So here, before you got down to the very trenches, this is the actual trend slow here, July 22nd. That's actually the lows of crypto in the summer. So this is not the fastest updating thing in the world, but also really good, important gauge of when there've been good times to buy in the United States. And these are all really great moments in history, right? Housing bubble, and this thing exceeded the housing bubble. So that's another piece to go with the shooting cluster sentiment and the massive bull flag that we see on bigger resolutions and risk assets. This is generational fucking buying moments right here in 1980, 1990, going into Billy Clinton's era. Generational selling moment, another generational buying moment after the housing bubble. This would be the only one that wasn't out of the last 40 years of this consumer sentiment study. This would be the only one that's down here that wasn't a good idea. So again, right, if it's not clear at first, it's usually a problem of resolution. And don't overwhelm yourself with all the things we talk about. Keep it simple, right? There's only a few things you need to take into account here to make a plan for the one thing you plan to work on. We cover enough stuff for tons of people to generate tons of ideas. You don't have to use them all. The worst thing you can do is have paralysis by analysis, right? So keep it simple, stupid, is always the rule. All right, guys, sorry for running over time. Sorry for being late. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We played on slower speeds later. Good luck to everybody. Let's kick ass this week. Catch you on the flip. Peace out.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.